sat at the knees of my elders and pleaded for meaning from them. They said, take your own feet and you better be out on the street exploring. About at the altar of musicians who could have the power of amplifiers, gold and sweet honey sounds that turn me right round and spin me back like my life was stolen.
Queensland boy full of Queensland joy. Squeeze me on my gang, God, squeeze this watermelon man. I got rock melon, I got passion fruit me, ripe me, sugar cane me. Coal go Japan, you know, I go to dole queue. I do as government tells me to. I don't need daylight savings. I'm free to be a giant strawberry, giant pineapple, giant skin cancer. I actually never thought I'd leave the lucky country. I thought, what is there outside Australia that is so good, you know? And then my friends, they were travelling a lot, and they kept telling me, wake up, you have to see. When my friends started dying, I got a round the world ticket and travelled around the world. And dropped into places, Thailand, Vietnam, you know, Philippines and England, all the rest, and Spain, France. And I realised then, you know, they're wrong. Everything. And I love musicians because they take risks. So I asked them, look, make stuff up and I'll make stuff up with you. And whoever does it, I'm really happy. That's how I started doing poetry at this aquarium festival. And then they said, well, we're going on tour. You can come with us. And I said, really? Where are you going? Oh, we're going to England, do a love tour. I was doing things in community radio with them. We used to do Midnight to Dawn on the radio and improvisations and things like that around poetry venues around Melbourne. Mm-hmm. So then we did it in England, and they said, well, we're going through America. I said, why would you want to go there? So now I'm here because that's real, and that's the only reason to do anything, you know, love. Yeah. So I'm now in the place I never believed I would be. It's a bit like being in a movie, you know, a Texas movie, but everybody.
There is a poem you've never heard. It's called Your Life. It hasn't been written, and you're the only one that can write it. There's a poem you can't write, and that's my life. You look at it from a distance, but I'm no television set. I'm barely human. There's a poem that we share in common this evening. It's the air we're breathing. The fact that these students had to go to a dramatic presentation. That's why we did the slam so fast. The open mic means open your heart mic. National Poetry Month has begun, and you're part of the song lines. Tomorrow the workshop, there's Ventana del Sol, there's venues every night in Austin. But I am singing to the birds of Kerrville, to those sacred song lines here. I know you want to start something, so why not join in this evening? You see, this is a poem that will never happen again. This tiny night bird, these small.
Now, poetry belongs to everyone. That's an absolute fact. And we have been, our tongues have been stolen and made to keep quiet, and that's a crime against humanity. When the birds fly out of our tongue, when our heart starts singing, like at the demonstration, when you realise you're not the only weirdo in the world, everyone else is weird, but they just hide it much better. You know, they have to, I'm straight, this is my job. I am straight, this is my life. And they're not. They're not. No one is. Everyone is bent and curly, and everyone has bent and curly ways. I've been to places where you're not welcome. Yeah. Like I used to crack the music open mics, and they'd freeze me out because I didn't have a guitar. And I realised, wow, this is not the way to be. So the way to be is to be open, living and free. So everything I support hasn't got a price tag. It's all open, living and free. And if it is those three, then I'll support as much as possible. Anywhere, anytime, so long as it's open to everyone. As soon as you start saying, well, you're okay, but you're a bit weird, you just stay outside and watch us from a distance, that's no good. That's like the old world. The new world is saying everyone's in this, we're all breathing the same air, we're walking the same earth, we feel the same things. So I'm on the side of the future. We have to get out of our house. We have to gather. We have to gather in circles. The feng shui of squares and rectangles has held the skyline to ransom for too long. We are not huge like Capital Metro buses. We are small. We are a village. We look each other in the eye and we have a conversation. We don't text over distances. We actually communicate. And someone told me the first prayer is listening, the second prayer is respect. And the two go together, because if you are listening to someone, you're giving them the respect that you would hope they would be worthy of.
Step on the stage tonight, release and sway tonight. Watch how the world changes. There are certain souls who kiss the danger and tell every stranger the deepest secrets. They whisper and sing with brave, exploring the pain of their loss and their failures. On release, every poem is a prayer, a chant, an anthem, an affirmation. Upon release, every songbird of life is remembered as a love and a gambler, because certain souls, I say, certain souls, I say, certain souls, I say, must sing.
The definition of poetry isn't necessarily just the blah blah. It is where your feet walk. And where you are and what you're doing. You know the old saying, the Buddhist saying, right thought, right action, right occupation. You know, that makes sense, is that we only have this life. So what are you doing in this life to awaken? Are you improving it? And then a lot of people think that if they die, they'll be famous. No, I'm sorry, it doesn't work that way. When you die, you'll be forgotten. Get used to it. If you live now, you may be remembered now. For the next half an hour we've got together, you may be remembered. It's reversible. Okay? So we're living in what I call a brilliant time to actually manifest better values. Because the challenges out there, they're not going to manifest them out there. Poetry doesn't exist to them. It's not because you realise you will not get any money doing poetry. That's not the point of poetry. The point of poetry is to exist intrinsically. If poetry can exist, it means that metaphor, life itself, the very core of the seed of knowledge, can be transmitted from one human being.
Every day, I wake up this way, looking for someone to ask questions. But people come to me on the busy streets, and they ask me the same one. What is the meaning in motion and dreaming, if it is all just random? When I wake up, what dream will I take? Its antidote or a solution? No one knows anything. Everyone knows everything. Everything is true. Everything is false too. Everything is everything. All the books and the films and the scripts that you read are all pieces of a jigsaw puzzle. And it fits together in a great big picture, but I guess you gotta die to see that one. Right on the edge. Right on the edge of your life. Just the moment before you leave your skin, you say, I got it. Oh. There was nothing at all. There was no consequence. There was no extra depth or context. It's all pretext we make up to convince ourselves to keep going. I still beg on my knees, petition them please. Won't you tell me why your song was stolen? And all they say is the royalties pay, and that's why they keep going on.
The question is always right. To dream, to think, to inquire, to cast aside darkness for light, even if it involves treading the high wire. Too many people just don't want to know anything except complacency. They're smug, they're grey, their life lacks that glow of interest, their life seems a fallacy. It can be a tricky trapeze act sometimes, not knowing how far to walk one's curiosity into another person's mind, whether to stalk responses unrelentingly or stand a leash employing tact. I couldn't be with someone who locked away their mind and numbed their senses. Keep flowing, querying, bubbling over, delighting in sun rays. Keep thinking, projecting, feeling, living fully, feeling always. Long ago, the sea spoke to me and told me how to deal with an uncertain world. The waves may seem to go out, my dear, but the dreams will always come in again.